it finally over?
No. Chows comes up and backstabs.
The ominous aura of that monster has indeed
Forgot
begun
that's
to
your
fade.
voice.
The effects of the Sigil of Permission last but a short time. It will be some time before the Overlord of the Vortex can make any waves again.
We are indebted to you for your assistance. If the Adepti hadn't happened to be here, the future of Liyue Harbor would surely have been in great jeopardy.
Save your flattery. We didn't just happen to be here. Surely you won't pretend to have forgotten the reason for which we came.
Come now. There's no need for such harsh words, Cloud Retainer.
Her Madam Pinks
I've heard that when Ningguang began learning to do business, she had already started setting aside part of her then limited income in preparation for building the Jade Chamber. At first, it was only the size of a small room, but with continued expansion, it has become the palace that lies before you now. It is a testament to Ningguang's entire life, both as a businesswoman and as the backbone of the Liyue Qixing. Seeing the Jade Chamber destroyed in the defense of Liyue means much to her. To me, such cooperation and sacrifice deserves at least some recognition, don't you agree?
Well, I was really hoping you would say that such sacrifice could at least be used as some leverage in our negotiations. 3,700 years. According to our records, the Adepti signed a contract with Rex Lapis to protect Liyue 3,700 years ago. Even to this very day, Liyue and its lands have stood the test of time, immovable as stone, just as it was thousands of years before. This is truly no small feat. Do not merely cast your protective gaze upon the land. Instead, focus your sights on our city and each of the citizens that dwell within it.
Are you questioning our means of protecting Liyue?
I mean no offense. I simply hope that our Adepti forebears would see Liyue in a new light.
Forebearers, you say? One doubts you would be fit to be part of such a lineage.
This morning, Rex Lapis appeared to me in a dream.
Oh.
What?
In the dream, I yearned to tell him that we Qixing, though mortal, are equally bound to the contract.
Zhongli broke in her house and said
Each
hi.
passing generation of the Qixing leaves many things of value to be inherited by the next generation. I also thought to tell him how the past generations of Qixing had strove under his rule to survive in our mortal world, establishing a network of contracts which has since come to be known as trade. But I dared not speak. I could only gaze at him in silence until the moment I awoke.
We're all on the same side here.
Yet another perspective. What are you trying to say, Outlander?
When there is discord between the Guardians and those that were meant to defend, harmony becomes very difficult to restore, does it not?
Each of the 7 nations has its own scars from the past.
Though your point is the very height of simplicity. As
Damn.
Adepti, we've become a
He said
laughingstock
simpleton.
to be chastised thus by an outlander who has lent us such succor.
All right. Didn't Ningguang suggest that we should focus on the city and each of its citizens? I know I already have, so why not see for yourselves?
Why does everyone look so down? Didn't we just beat that big monster?
Weren't you frightened, dear? It was quite the predicament.
I wasn't afraid. All the strong Millilith guards were there, and those powerful heroes with their visions were there. Everyone was there. When danger is near, everyone always protects me. And the rest of the time, they make fun toys and tasty snacks and loads of things that make the harbor so pretty. Thanks for protecting Liyue Harbor. Please come visit us for the next lantern rite.
Oops.
Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to participate.
Huh?
Because we are Adepti.
You see, this is what Liyue is like today. The country of contracts is grateful to the Adepti for their protection. But it is no longer necessary for
Madam
the
Ping's
city
like
to
the leader
rely
of the
on the
Adepti.
Adepti's power to solve every little niggling matter.
Little niggling.
Although their blood is weak, there is still strength to be found in those we call mortals. The time of contracts between gods and Liyue has long since passed. Now is the time of contracts between Liyue and its people.
Seeing the port around us now, it is hard not to feel a bit out of place. Wouldn't you say so, Cloud Retainer?
Your line of inquiry is askew. One did not spearhead this expedition to Liyue Harbor.
Seems like the Adepti have had a change of heart.
Because Madam Ping told them to.
And return whence we came.
Since we Adepti have consensus, then one shall persist no further. But how will we ensure that the Liyue Chising will not simply exploit their power once we depart? In my view, that is still a thing to be guarded against.
All right, Mooncarver, you needn't worry. It seems to me that this right of supervision is best left to the people of Liyue.
Has Ningguang chocolates in the background.
Looks
Like,
like the
yes,
conflict
finally,
between
my rise to
humans
power.
and Adepti was avoided. All's well that ends well, huh?
You can say that again.
Oh, right! It's nice that we've got peace and all, but we're forgetting one thing. Child wanted to unleash the god so he could lure Rex Lapis out.
Yes.
But we were able to handle the Overlord of the Vortex on our own. So Rex Lapis never showed up. Oh, and speaking of that, don't we still need to get to the bottom of that Archon's death too?
Death in quotes, as in Kaching and Ningguang both know they are alive.
Paimon doesn't get it. But isn't the strongest lead we have the Adeptiless rite of parting that we're organizing?
Is there anything I can do for you two? I'm afraid that Wangsheng Funeral Parlor isn't in the best state to receive guests.
Oh?
We've come to see Zhongli. Could you please tell him we're here?
Yeah, I've come see the
Unfortunately,
coolest man.
Zhongli isn't here at the moment. It seems he went to Northland Bank.
Doesn't the Northland Bank belong to the Fatui? Last time we saw Zhongli was before we went to the Golden House. Do you think he doesn't know about the attack on Liyue? Visiting the Fatui at a time like this could only mean more trouble. We had better go and make sure that everything is okay.
Time to sneak into the Northland Bank.
You call this cooperation between
Signora.
harbingers. Cooperation involves communication, you know.
Don't take it to heart, child. Besides, aren't you happy that you got to skip the formalities and bring chaos to the land?
Signora.
I'm sure you must have enjoyed that. Oh, it seems that some of your friends have arrived.
Hey,
What the hell's that
it's
floating
Zhongli
thing
and
behind her?
Child. And you're also one of the Harbingers?
Signora.
It's you two. I believe we've met once before. In the city of Bards, was it?
It was.
I'm glad you still remember my name. Ah, right. I imagine that it must have been rather hard to forget watching helplessly as something precious was snatched away from your friend.
I still have time to take it back.
No, don't let her get to you. You've
Beats
yet
the
to
shit out
gather
of
the
her.
powers of all 7 elements. And our last battle at the Golden House was almost more than you could handle. So it might be best to keep things peaceful this time, seeing that 2 of the Harbingers are here.
Well, if it isn't you two. This is our first time seeing each other since Liyue was nearly wiped off the map. This is certainly a bit awkward, wouldn't you say?
Nah.
Paimon knew that we should never have trusted a Fatui Harbinger.
Oh, now don't say that. Sure, I may have misled you, but I never had anything against you personally. Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well together, didn't you? Except for that little tussle we had at the end. Nothing personal. We just have different views, that's all.
All good
Of
friends
course,
have different
you
views.
may very well hold this against me, but that's up to you. The real deceivers here are Signora and Zhongli. Curse them for leading me on.
Zhongli. You tricked me.
So actually, I think...
Stop
What?
wasting
Zhongli
time,
tricked me.
child. There'll be plenty of time to chat once I'm through
She
here.
put her boobs in the camera.
You remember the agreement,
Zhongli?
Morax. Now, if you would be
Morax?
so
No.
kind. The Gnosis, please.
Gnosis?
What in the world are you talking about?
He's like,
The contract
Yeesh.
is fulfilled. That which thou seeketh is now bestowed unto thee. For my promise is solid as stone.
ooh, looks like a rook.
How sanctimonious.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
Yeah, you don't think you went a little bit too far with that whole fake death thing? Everyone was preparing the ceremony for you, and splat! This big dragon falls out of the sky, and all of Lyra goes into an uproar. Talk about a disaster.
Gathering all the forces that had been bubbling behind the scenes, and then stirring them together in a pot that was
I'm
bound
curious,
to
is she
boil
missing an
over.
eye?
That's what he wanted to see. Am I right?
Wait, what?
Perhaps it's best that I explain.
Yeah, she doesn't make
As
sense.
you know,
What the hell's that
I've
flying thing
dwelt
behind
upon
her?
this world for more than 6,000 years. I witnessed the founding of Liyue, together with the Adepti 3,700 years ago. Even boulders that can withstand whirlpools will erode with the passing of time. I kept convincing myself that cracks had not begun to form, and that the end of my time had not yet come. Until one drizzly day, as I was strolling along the harbor, I heard a merchant tell one of his workers, "You finished your duties. Go ahead and call it a day." I stood motionless among the crowds, asking myself, have I already finished my duties?
Never.
Oh, Zhongli.
But as I began to consider relinquishing my divine role, I soon discovered that many reasons still remained to not hastily depart. Was Liyue, the city I had dwelt in for so long, already prepared to enter its next age? I decided that a test was needed in order to reveal the answer. So I feigned my own death, and gathered the cast of Child, the Adepti, and the Liyue Chising to play their roles together on the stage that was Liyue.
So you were satisfied with the finale?
Indeed I was. The Gnosis, which I had kept for so many years, suddenly seemed to have lost its meaning. That's right. Which is why I continued to safeguard the Gnosis until now.
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the point of no return, you would simply appear and use your divine powers to bring Liyue back under control?
Of course, and it would have been all too easy for him too. Just as a child quickly matures after losing their parents, so has Liyue matured when faced with the death of its deity.
I was pleasantly surprised with the finale of the show that you all put on. Why, you even deserved an encore. All the while, I carried on as Zhongli, and fulfilled the traditions of Liyue in this mortal form. Thank you for walking that path with me, Traveler.
Oh.
These things were all a part of my script. The only unforeseen plot twist was the conduct of the Liyue Chising. I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti, to come to the defense of Liyue. But when all was said and done, they seized the opportunity to supplant Liyue's divine protectors, and used the subsequent power vacuum left by my death to quickly gain complete control of Liyue.
Huh? That doesn't sound good at all.
On the contrary, I think it is excellent. I had always feared that it was too soon for them to take over from me. And it was also that which I longed for the most. As such, this is the best parting gift anyone could have given this god of old.
Hey, what about me? Doesn't anyone feel the least bit of remorse for deceiving me? You've practically kept me in the dark.
Oh.
I think that thanks would be more appropriate. You certainly played no small part in all of this, wreaking havoc and turning the city upside down. The Lord of Geo ought to thank you for your performance, if anything. If you hadn't created the pressure of a battle between mortals, adepti, and a god, the lump of coal resting in the hands of the Geo Archon, Liu, would never have been able to become a dazzling diamond of a city.
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking me like that? Are you itching for a fight?
We were both fooled equally.
Be that as it may,
Dumbass.
you've come out of this as the hero of Liu. I, on the other hand, will be forever prescribed as a disturber of the peace, no?
Wasn't that your objective?
Well then, with the Gnosis in my possession, I have no use for such idle chatter. We should return to Zappolyarny Palace and seek an audience with Her Majesty.
Zappolyarny Palace?
Come, child.
Fine. I'll meet you there later. I'm not sharing a boat with the likes of you.
Damn.
Do as you wish.
My contract to end all contracts. As for the bargaining chip that the Tsaritsa used to balance the scales, uncover that answer for yourself in your future journeys.
So technically the main mission has no. Okay. What the fuck happened there?
Today's the day of the rite of parting.
No.
Although the star of the show is fake, we spent so much time trying to organize it, it would be a real shame not to go there now.
This is a peaceful neighborhood.
Okay, Stanley. Why, hello.
You know that god from the ocean couldn't have just shown up out of nowhere. I mean, it's been 2,000 years since Rex Lapis subdued it.
Yes, and to think that this happened right on the heels of the incident with Rex Lapis, too.
Say, do you think the person who
These
assassinated
voices are
our
very
lord
familiar.
and
These two
released
guys
that
right here.
evil god might have been one and
Especially
the same?
Sun, this one.
Now that you mention it, that's very possible. Yes, it's very possible indeed.
His voice is familiar.
I mean, it all fits together. That person must have colluded with the evil god to harm Rex Lapis. Oh, that wicked, black-hearted scoundrel. Still, what sort of supernatural prowess must this person possess to be able to do such things? I have never heard of such a person in all my years.
Ah, forget it. Guessing's no use to us. Look, the Millilith over there looks like he's about to make an announcement. Let's hear what the Ministry of
This
Civil
man,
Affairs has to say
my
first.
left. Or not. That man. Why, hello, good sir.
Hear ye all!
Hear ye.
The Chising's words. Though a dragon soars ageless as the
Hear
mountains,
ye all.
it too must return to dust. This is common knowledge. Gods and adepti live glorious lives, but both light and shadow have their season. So too must they face divinely appointed trials. Rumors and hearsay abound on the streets that Rex Lapis was murdered. Now, let the truth be revealed.
Oh?
Having been thwarted in his trial, Rex Lapis's soul has recouped the celestial heights. He beseeches the people of Liu to grieve not
Beseeches?
and to let not their hearts be saddened. Nor are they to believe street-born rumors or indulge in baseless speculation.
Diamond needs a translation on what the Chising's announcement said.
They said that Rex Lapis wasn't murdered.
So that's how they're spinning it. Something feels off. Could the Chising already have known that Rex Lapis wasn't dead? But Zhongli said that neither they nor the Adepti knew anything.
I knew Ningguang was smart.
Did Zhongli tell them in secret after his gnosis changed hands?
That's possible.
Exactly, right? Ooh, seems like the rite of parting has been going on for a while now. Let's go have a look.
Alrighty, right. Radio. Let's. Bro, it's Ganyu, Pushing, and Ningguang.
Look, it's Ningguang and Kuching. Are they saying something?
Damn, you don't even
Are there speeches
acknowledge Ganyu.
As said previously, Rex Lapis's soul returning to the heavens is the end of the contract. And it is also the end of an era.
3,700 years of contracts burnt and reduced to ash.
Damn.
We, the people of Liyue, were
This
indeed
very
prosperous.
horny lady over there.
But blinded by our prosperity, we forgot that time can be pitiless.
The long, unending dream of our Archon walking among us.
Now that we have awoken from our dream, we must learn to say farewell. Will you stand with us as we re-establish our contracts? As we build a new age of prosperity?
So concludes the words of Her Eminence the Tianquan. Does Her Eminence the Yuheng have anything to add?
Huh? Is she looking this way?
Traveler.
Yes!
shit.
She really is looking our way!
Hello, Neon Neko.
Is that the
purple hat
traveler
girl.
who they say defeated the ancient god?
So young.
The Liyue
Bullshit.
Qixing always repay their
They're
debts.
like 3,000 years old.
And as you have heard, our eyes see far and our reach is long. Name your price. You deserve that much.
Ningguang.
Whoa!
Human trafficking. I want nothing. Can I have Ningguang?
Well, could you help me put up some missing person posters?
Okay. I want to talk to Ningguang.
Roping you in was possibly the most masterful move we could have made. I believe that future generations will say so too when our deeds come up for their review.
Hello, Ganyu.
The cleanup of the premises, managing the crowds as they exit, making an account of the rite. There's much that remains to be done. I didn't miss anything, did I?
Nope. You worry too much. I'm gonna talk to Kashing.
Why you? Were you just trying to look cool earlier, or are you really that selfless?
Oh.
If you were looking for someone, you could have just told me that in private.
Tell you anything in private, baby? Oh, your boy Zhongli. By far the coolest man. And the best dad.
Hey, Zhongli!
He goes, yo!
Look at this! Everyone in Liyue is caught up in their emotions, thinking that they'll never see Rex Lapis again!
And his hat ass is 10 feet
You
away.
are looking all relaxed!
Why would I not feel more at ease after laying down the burden I have borne for 3,700 years? Right. If the two of you can spare the time, I should treat you to a meal at the Shinya kiosk.
Ha! That sounds like big talk, Zhongli. Paimon might have believed you if you were treating us to some third-round knockout, but you'd have to pay out your nose just to stand inside Shinya kiosk. Are you sure you can afford it?
Damn. So mean,
You're right.
Paimon.
I do lack the Mora.
But why would Morax lack Mora?
As the Rex Lapis Morax, I can easily create Mora. But since I have chosen to walk this earth as the mortal Zhongli, I should abide by the same rules that mortals do. When I was journeying with you, though I still had the Gnosis in hand, I knew that I must soon retire from my role as an Archon. So I had to rehearse a little for my new life.
Oh, no wonder! Paimon gets it now. You didn't look at the price tags when we were spending because you've never had to.
No, he's
But
man
since you weren't used to not being
just
able to just make
appears
more
Mora.
Mora as and when you wanted to, you had to try becoming a parasite to society who lives off of other people's credit.
Well, we were only spending Fatui money. You don't have to say it like that. In the City of Commerce, we do not merely exchange money or goods. We also exchange knowledge, memories, and foresight, as well as positions, roles, and lives. The Archon Morax could never experience life as the true mortal Zhongli could, no matter how many times he descended to be with his people. I must thank you for that. I will treasure the memories that I made as Zhongli, traveling the streets of Liyue with you.
It was a fine journey.
That is true. But there is no journey that does not end. No meetings without partings.
Paimon thinks that we should make a move and continue our search for the Seven.
I fear that continuing your journey may be difficult. The nation that neighbors Liyue by sea, Inazuma, is presently closed.
Closed? Who's the god who rules Izume?
The Electro-Archon Ball.
Bro, I know Ball
And
is.
just as the people of Liyue prefer to call me Rex Lapis, she too goes by another name among locals in Inazuma.
Paimon thinks we've heard that one before. Raiden?
That is the case. And since Raiden is also the shogun of the Inazuma Bakufu, people call her the Raiden Shogun.
The Inazuma Bakufu?
That said, though people at the wharf were saying that the situation in Inazuma is very tense,
Bakufu.
Paimon doesn't remember that always being the case. It wasn't
Is it
that
like a
bad
fighting
last year.
club?
Zhongli, since you're Rex Lapis, shouldn't you know something about what's happening there? Just how did Inazuma become a closed nation?
North Korea.
It's because of visions.
He walks away.
Visions?
When faced with circumstances beyond their control, humans often bemoan their lack of power. But if a person shows true strength of will at a desperate and fateful moment in their life, the gods will look upon them with favor. This is what visions are. Magical foci bestowed upon those who have been acknowledged by the gods.
Uh-huh. That's how people in Teyvat see it.
But starting from last year, the Raiden Shogun began promulgating the Vision Hunt Decree.
Damn.
Vision Hunt Decree?
Yes. It was an order to seize all visions within Inazuma's borders, and to inlay them upon the hands of a statue of the 1,000-armed, 100-eyed god.
What the fuck is that?
They want to seize visions. But why?
Inazuma
Are
sounds like
visions
a cool
blessings
place.
from the gods?
I should think that in the Raiden Shogun's eyes, it is precisely because they are divine blessings that they should be under the sole dominion of divinity.
Whoa, that's harsh.
The Animo Archon is the god of freedom, and the Geo Archon is the god of contracts. For her part, the Raiden Shogun is the god of eternity. It seems as though she has finally decided to eliminate any unstable elements that could pose a threat to her eternal realm.
Oh.
The fact that even I, the oldest of the seven, have now passed away, will only strengthen her resolve to pursue eternity. Knowing her, she must have again quoted that adage she is most fond of when proclaiming that decree to her people. 7 ideals for 7 gods, and of these, eternity is nearest unto heaven.
Damn, that's what she says to people?
All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know?
Yo, question time. Trial.
Ah, that was a good one. Failing a divine trial. How they came up with that excuse, I will never know. That said, the reason why the Qixing were so eager to resolve the incident and stop pursuing the culprit was indeed because they received news in secret that Rex Lapis was not dead. I hinted as much to the Adepti as well. How did I accomplish that, you ask? Have you ever heard of this particularly convenient Adepti art known as gifting dreams and visions? All right then.
This
Was there anything else you wish to know?
Convenient art? Child?
Yeah, about that. Before the Qixing made their announcement, we listened to a lot of people talking on the way. Most of them put the blame for everything on Child.
These are indeed false accusations. But it remains undeniably true that Child did send people to the Jade Chamber to prevent the Adepti and the Qixing from defeating the ancient god. I've heard that Ningguang is busy milking that for all it's worth on the foreign relations front at the moment, browbeating the envoys of the Fatui.
Ningguang showing
Those
her true
poor
powers.
Snezhnayan diplomats. If it were not for Child's exalted position as a harbinger, I'm certain that they would have shifted all the blame to him and called for his dismissal by now. All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know?
Snezhnayan diplomats. That's for the Liyue Qixing.
The time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Qixing don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for Liyue?
He's right.
Keqing is absolutely right in saying this. Now, though I did laud Ningguang's desire for power, believing this to be a good thing, and thought as a matter of course that she must have been behind the Qixing's plan to take governing power over Liyue from the hands of the gods and Adepti.
But it was...
Could the original
Keqing.
person who brought up the idea of seizing power have been...
Keqing.
All right then.
Or Hishing.
Was there anything else you wish to know?
It's about the Mora.
That's right. Zhongli, now that you don't have your gnosis, what's going to happen to all the Mora in Tibet? Since Morax is dead, are they all just gonna disappear? Also, isn't the Golden House the only mint in the entire continent? Will it even continue to work?
That's a good question.
The Mora present now will not vanish. But the Golden House will indeed have to cease operations for a lengthy period of time, since creating Mora requires the use of the Geo-Archon's power.
This is terrible.
The economy has just... If there's a stock market in Tibet,
Yes,
this shit just went
this
up.
is indeed
like
a major issue
300%.
from a financial standpoint. Well, I suppose we'll just leave such troublesome matters to the Liyue Qixing to debate.
Damn.
Then, did you at least set some private funds aside for yourself?
Oh, a private fund. This does seem like a good, logical, common-sense idea.
I'm assuming he didn't.
It's a shame.
Damn.
What's a shame?
It's a shame that I didn't think of it at the time. All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know?
Other than the fact that you're a goddamn genius but didn't think of the one thing, but sure, nothing else. Oops.
Well then, I suppose you'll have to find a way to get inside this closed nation. Have patience. I suspect that some serendipity must first come into play.
The new star approaches.